Hi beloveds, welcome back to my channel. This is Divine Empress, your Fulani's sister. Right now, in my school, we are at that season. We just passed the deadline for the withdrawal of classes for you to get W instead of F. There was this one class that from the beginning of the semester, I had this really negative mindset towards it. It wasn't a class that's like, I would say, it's beyond my abilities to be able to succeed in it. It's been a class that I've determined was challenging for me without me actually trying to put in the efforts that, was required for me to be able to succeed in the class. This particular teacher had this thing where the teacher would make the class work and the homework's much harder than the actual test. So when I had some of the exams, I'm like, I've seen this somewhere, but because I didn't give myself enough time to study, I didn't fully remember. But it didn't feel strange. I'm like, so I had to sit with myself. And there were times when it's like, I was thinking, I'm like, I'm going to drop this class, I'm going to drop this class. I remember like my counselor sent an email way before early on in the semester. The email was like, before, what I got from that is like, before you make the decision to release that class, make sure you have done everything in your capacity to ensure that you pass. Like, do everything that you can control within your control to try to succeed. But if even after your efforts and everything you still don't succeed, then you can make the decision then to see if dropping that class is best for you. Like, make sure that you've studied, you used all the resources like tutoring, maybe classmates, whatever resources that you know. I didn't utilize the resources properly, I'm not gonna even lie. And at the end of the day, it got to that point where now it was time for that deadline. And I had to be honest with myself and be like, I had to make the decision to drop that class. And also, like, one of the biggest things that I deal with and have to learn how to overcome is procrastination. And what I'm realizing now is how much that has affected, how much it's costing me. Because like the way I'm seeing myself now and seeing the results of my mistakes, it's like, yes, it's always been a problem in the past, but I'm at a place now where it's like it's hitting different. It's like the cost is huge, and it's like, okay, I'm going places and this is one thing that just cannot come with me, and it's costing me a lot that I have to release. Maybe some of you can relate. Maybe you're students, maybe you have students that you are in charge of, or maybe you have something in your life that might not even be related to school, but it's just that thing that you really struggle with, and you have come to realize how much you not letting go of this thing, place, or person is weighing on you and holding you back. Like, you can literally see it. It's not something anymore that somebody has to tell you. You know exactly, is this behavior, is this habit, is this environment, is this person, is this thing. But sometimes what holds us back is not things outside of us, like I've been probably saying in these videos as well. Something that I also wanted to say with this message is what this whole experience with school has made me also realize about the effects of the victim mindset. I used to hear about people talking about this and how it can be a limitation and all of that, but a little bit, I felt like maybe it was a little insensitive, because people do go through stuff and our experiences differ. We come from different backgrounds, walks of life. Many people going towards the same goal. They don't have the same path, the same journey. There's some people that it may seem they have easier than others. That's true. So it can understandable. It can be understandable why people behave a certain way, or they have certain types of mentalities, that might not serve them. But now, like, at least at this moment, that I'm realizing that for me personally, Yes, I've had situations that have made things a little different for me and have made my journey maybe a little harder. And some of these things I might not even have realized it. But at this moment in time, what's also been holding me back is that victim mentality. Like when something happened, like if I fail at something or I'm trying to achieve something and it becomes hard. Like before I was like quick, like really quick to quit. But like, nope, I'm not doing it. Then that's it. Or I would feel bad about it. Like it's okay to feel how you feel, to acknowledge and respect and honor your emotions. But I would do that, but I would stay in it. Like staying in that and being victim, it keeps me from progressing, because like if something happened and for example, and I make a mistake and I feel guilty. And if I stay in that guilt, I'm not moving forward. I'm not doing the things that I need to do in order to resolve that situation. Like, let's say I've wronged somebody, and now I'm going to be like, you know what, sit there and think all negative things about myself and just by myself and beating myself up about it when I could have, feel how I feel and then release all of that and go do what I think I should do in order to remedy that situation. If I need to talk to the person, talk to the person. If it's a way I need to correct it, correct it. Then that would help me release and actually be something that like would actually help me solve whatever situation. So that I can move forward and I can move forward and the person can move forward. I feel like with victim mentality, it's like you being free and not realizing that the chains are not in you and you're not chained anymore. It's like you being free from the things that used to hold you back, but you're not realizing it. When you carry something like a backpack, when you first take it off, you can still feel it. Sometimes you might need a little time to realize that you're not carrying that weight anymore. Like you have no chains on you, but you haven't come to that realization that you're not carrying a weight anymore. Nothing is holding you back. And maybe you're at a place where you don't know what that feels like. You don't know what freedom feels like. You don't know what it's like to be given the baton and it's like it's your turn now. It's your turn to shine. Because you've never been in that position. It feels strange. It's like being caged for so long and now you're like you've been set free and it's just like, what am I supposed to do? I don't know how to fly. I don't know what to do and all these things. Like you almost are like in that position where it's almost like you are learning about the world and about life and about yourself, like from a child type of view, like step by step. Like you have to learn everything, restart, maybe learn everything from the beginning. Like some of us might get to that point and realize, okay, like they'll realize quickly that you know they're not in a position of power. They're not in a position where it's like it's their turn. They're being blessed and gifted with an opportunity to go after whatever they want and live the life that they're meant to live freely. But some of us might need a little more time to adjust and realize what is happening. And I feel like that's where the victim mentality comes in. You know what you've experienced, and the weight of that, even though it's been lifted, you need time to realize you haven't realized that that weight is off because you're so familiar with that feeling of having it. It's not to say that you haven't been through stuff. It's like, yes, you have been through what you've been through. But it's like you are no longer in those positions. You are no longer that person. You are now in a place and in a moment where justice is on your side and you've been taken out of those things that were oppressive to you, that were restricting. And I would say that maybe or maybe you are been divinely guided to recognize where you are now and utilize what you have right now to try to be the best version of yourself each and every day. Whatever has happened and has happened for a reason. And it's been a work in progress leading to these moments and even to the things beyond. But you need to realize where you are and what's available to you right now so that you can step into your power and be the person that you're meant to be right now and going forward. I want to encourage you to reflect on your actions, reflect on your life, and reflect on maybe why things have turned out the way it has turned out for you. Why in this particular area you keep getting the same results. Honestly, like I was telling you, with this particular class, with certain things in my life, I do know that procrastination is one of my biggest issue. And the other thing was the victim mentality that has been affecting me. I know these are some of the things that I have identified for myself and had to be honest with myself and learn how to deal with that, to recognize it when I see these things. Not only recognize it, but take actions to to not let them affect me like they used to affect me before. Because I definitely do know better. I do know better, and I am able to see these limitations now even more than before. Like I've said in other videos, I say this many times, like probably. Make your experience worth it. Make everything that you've gone through worth something, you know? Because I do believe you deserve to live the life that was destined for you. And it's not, you haven't won, you haven't lost or won yet. It's not even about that. Your past does not mean that you're not worth anything. And especially if you're somebody that's in this video right now, you can take this as your sign, as if like God really loves you enough to have you see this reminder to let you know that, like God is encouraging you that there's more for you, that there's more for you for sure. And letting you know that you're not necessarily your past. You are not necessarily your mistakes. The best thing you can do for yourself in this life is to learn. We are here to experience. We are here to evolve and learn. And that will come through mistakes. So don't let your mistakes, your past, don't use that as a reason not to allow yourself to progress. Learn to reflect and release things so that you can move forward. Like maybe before you go to bed, reflect on the day and take time off to process everything that happened, all the emotions and everything as much as you can, and see what you can work through and release before you go to sleep. And know that the next day when you wake up is another chance, is another opportunity, is another blessing for you to start over. Like every minute that you're still here, it's still a chance for you to improve and grow. And just allow yourself to be a student of life, a work in progress. And anything that you find that is too hard for you to deal with, pray about it. For someone of faith, pray about it. Like be honest and be like, God, I can't seem to be able to get over this. I really feel I'm trying, but it's really, really hard. Help me in this area. Like talk to God like you would talk to a friend. And the other thing that I find very helpful is to talk to myself in a third person. Like I'm constantly in my mind, like when things happen or I'm thinking certain thoughts, I would literally like talk to myself in my mind or talk to myself out loud, like if I was talking to someone. But talk to yourself, be your own best friend, be your own supporter, be that person that will be honest with yourself about that situation. Learn about emotional intelligence and how you can be more emotional intelligent. You can look that up on your own and ask God to guide you on that. Learn to release. so that you can be. Learn to release so you can be in the now and build for tomorrow. I hope that makes sense. Because regardless, life will still keep moving and things will still keep going. And for example, if you're somebody that has an issue with procrastination, if you procrastinate to the point that it ends up causing you a bigger problem, you will only have more things to deal with. Now you have this problem, now it's going to cause you to feel bad about yourself, about what's happening in your life, and then you choose to victimize yourself in that situation rather than being realistic and just owning up to it and taking accountability and doing what you need to do. So now it's like one problem on top of the other, and life will still keep going, and you will still be required to show up in all the areas that you're supposed to show up as an adult or whatever age you are, whatever responsibilities you have. Because the truth is, as hard as it may seem, no matter what you have going on, you're still going to be expected to show up in certain things in a way that you're expected to. And this is not unique to you. It's just adulting, it's just life. The people that you see around, when you go out work and all that, the people you see, you never know what people are carrying. Like, I've known somebody who have had a situation that was really bad, but they still showed up to work. I'm not saying this to encourage you, like, to be like, you just have to always sacrifice yourself. I'm just saying that sometimes, like, there are things that you are better off taking care of, like being honest with yourself and working on actually bettering your habits that don't serve you, so that it can hopefully help make things a little easier, because the challenges will still come. You still be required to show up for yourself and in certain commitments in certain ways, regardless of what you might have going on at that moment. That's just life. And that is not unique to you, it's for everybody pretty much, for most people pretty much. So if you're here anyways and you have to deal with things anyways, how can you make things a little easier for you? How can you make things a little easier for you? When you delay things, it gives room for things to pile up. And then now it's like, if you had time to do these things, now everything is crumped up on you. Now you're overwhelmed because of the load that you have, when you know you've had enough time actually to handle all of this. You have many blessings lined up for you, but there are timings for certain things, and everything has been positioned so that you can be able to complete each part successfully. But you've known since the beginning to do this, but you will let it slide, let it slide, let it slide, let it slide. Sometimes you gotta push through and learn what to prioritize, for certain things. Because we're not always gonna do the things that we want. Sometimes we just gotta do the things because we need to do them. Sometimes we gotta step up. Sometimes we have to get to a point to where our feelings cannot get in the way of the things that we need to do. And with that, I mean, like for me, for example, I can get very anxious at times or whatever when I have to do something like for school. And in the past, what that would make me do would make me want to do something else, anything else to distract myself. And that would lead to my procrastination. But now what I do is, like, I will sit with myself and try to talk to myself, and I'll be like, I understand you feel X, Y, Z. I understand that. But listen, right now you have this deadline and you're doing this, you want to succeed. You've been blessed with this opportunity to have this education and to be at this place. This is the place that you've prayed for. You wanted to be here. Now you've been granted that. I know how you feel, but if you keep being in this mindset right now in this moment, is going to delay your progress, and that's going to cause you more problem. Because I want you to win. I want us to win. I want you to come back. I know you can do it. Like, just talk to myself like that until I get to the point I'm like, okay, I got to pick this up and start doing it. And I realize actually once I start doing it, I get to the flow of things and things get better. Like, sometimes you may feel like you don't want to do something, you can't do something, and that. But when you just start, you start doing it, you start, eventually you get into the flow, you get into the hang of things, and that original feeling, fear, or whatever that you had is just going to be gone. It's just going to be gone. And you're going to be so proud of yourself for having accomplished that, because now this is one less thing you have to worry about. It's done and you've done it on time. You can go on to the next things rather than having things pile up. I'm sorry to say, but sometimes our priorities have to come first, and our feelings, we got to resolve them. No matter what it is, you have to step into what you need to do in that moment for your progress, for your success. And I think if you can train yourself in that as well, it can help you deal with emotions much better in the long run, and it can help you break that cycle or that habit where you let your emotion take over and dictate your actions. And it's all about knowing when, where, and how to do things, I think, most of the times. And sometimes you do have to fight with yourself, because sometimes you will just want to be, your mindset and everything will just want you to be comfortable. Doesn't want you to be outside of your comfort zone. And if you're feeling fearful, anxious, or whatever it is, your mind might start to tell you, no, you don't need to do this right now. Sometimes you do need to take a break, but sometimes it's just that fear. You know that it's just something that just keeps you stagnant, keeps you in that procrastination mode. And you're going to have to talk yourself out of that and know when to choose your emotions and when not to. And I think that helps as well with victimizing yourself and all of that. I hope that I've said something that might resonate with somebody, that might be helpful, hopefully, to somebody. I hope my story benefits somebody. So I'm going to leave it with these reminders. Take it however it resonates with you. If you want, if it does spark something in you, some thoughts or whatever, you can sit with it. Okay. Don't be weak means do not let your weakness consume you. You have not lost or won. There will always be opinions from different people, but God will always be the truth. If life doesn't bring you one, don't look for one. Don't make things harder than it needs to be. Do your part. Do the things that you can control to make life easier for yourself. And that would mean acknowledging some truths about yourself that you're not comfortable, but you need to do that. And you need to work through those things, not just acknowledging them, but actively work through those things to become better. Because the life that you want is possible. Simply desiring and no actions is not going to get you to where you need to be. There's so much where grace can take you. Like, you are the co-creator of whatever is happening or whatever it is that you're trying to get. There's your part, there's the divine part that's playing, but it cannot go without your intervention, your input as well. There's no excuses. There's nothing that will exempt you from putting in the work in your journey, in your own journey. It's possible. It's possible for you. You can win. You can win. If you believe that for yourself, if you want that for yourself, reflect and do better when you know better. Or at least if when you don't, reflect and work things out and get back up again and keep going. You got this. I hope that you always remember and believe that you are divinely protected, divinely guided, divinely provided for. You are blessed. Stay encouraged. Stay positive as much as possible. I am rooting for you always. And, the Most High, your divine team, everybody is rooting for you. And you can do this. I love you. And thank you for being here. I do have a second channel, and it's always going to be linked in the description below from now on. And remember to take care of yourself, take care of others, and take care of the planet. What you put out comes back to you. So try your best to make a positive impact as much as you can.